Hello and welcome back to another episode of the repair of the Panasonic NV-G7. Now, in the previous video you saw me taking off the electronics of the board of the VCR because there was a problem with the sound on my original machine. Now I managed to get a donor machine. Now, what you can see here is the electronics which I took off from the other donor machine. This is the soundboard which is off my original machine. Now this has two functions. It obviously is the soundboard and also for the control pulses. So as you probably know, that when I was explaining on one of my previous videos, the way it works is you've got a sound head and you've got an control head, which gives you the control pulse for your tracking, for your speed, etc. And that's why we were having a problem with the servo side as well. So I mean, what I want to do first of all is I want to remove this off the donor board and put it into my machine and see whether it works or not. Now I've had a look here on the part number on this, and the part number is actually slightly different. So there are a few variations on here which I saw actually in the service manual as well. So what we will do is we'll remove this board now. There aren't that many connections in there, so we'll desolder them. Okay. I mean, this is the process of elimination, to be honest with you. I mean, we know that the soundboard on this is fine, so because there was a problem with the control pulses as well, I'm led to believe that the whole board is faulty, because that has two functions. I'm going to make sure I don't damage this circuit, because if that one does not work, then I will have to put this whole board back into there. I'll have a little look at obviously why it's not, obviously what's the problem, but it's very strange to have your control pulse missing and your sound missing. It's very it's very strange to have both of those things missing at the same time. Which, you know, I mean, in the old days I used to have oscilloscopes and all this, you know. I mean, that's what you actually need for this kind of work. You need proper test equipment. I haven't got that, unfortunately. So just taking over, just tinning the Oh, missed. Right, there we are. Now, this board should come out. So here's the board in question. As you can see, it is moving. So that should come out, but there's a thing. Right, I think something's still stuck on there. Right, what is it? Right, here we are. There we are, so that's the soundboard. This seems to have less on it. This seems to have less on there. You've got two ICs in this one. You've got one IC in the other one. Very strange. And it's got the same number of pins. Very strange. BA7751. They're completely different ICs. I think it might be a good idea just to consult the service manual paper, just to see whether I can actually put this one on there or not, because I hate to put it in and to find out that this isn't compatible. But saying that, this IC has got more pins than the other one that's straight, so I think that this is a different variation. I think we'll give it a go. We will give it a go. We will get our donor machine, well, get our machine now, and see whether we can put this in there and get it going. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So, right, so let me get my machine, and we'll put this one in there. I have a feeling that this is an older version. They probably updated it with that. Okay, let's have a go. My one's in a much better nick. Much better condition than the other one. Anyway, the aim is to get this going. I think I haven't put half of the screws on there, which is good because then I don't have to spend time taking them out. I mean, these kind of parts are really scarce. I mean, this is the only way to do it, really. My one's in much better nick. Oh, here we are. Here are all the screws. So this is where I've kept all the screws, right in the back of it. Yeah, it would be a shame to get, lose this whole circuit board. But we'll find out. There's no guarantees that it's going to work doing this. It's just a process of elimination. No, this machine is in much better condition than the other one. As I said, that was just a donor machine. If it doesn't work, then we'll probably have to think about replacing the board on there, the whole thing. But I will have a check to see whether there's anything silly going on. But yeah, my machine is in much better condition. Right, okay, so let's get our front panel off. Be very careful when we're taking the front panels off these machines, guys, because they are very fragile. Okay, so let's put that there. Right, half of the screws are already out, so we don't need to worry about that, because I've done it very loosely. The actual board's actually out on this one itself, so right, so let's just unclip all this. Okay, and we'll take off a single screw holding it all down. I think that's what I put in. Okay, and then we should be able to lift this up like that. I've already okay, so let's just move you back a bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Right, so here we are. So our soundboard actually goes in there. In here, as you can see here. There isn't really anything else in there, to be honest with you. That's really what I suspected originally. So okay, so let's get the donor board. Let's get the donor board and let's put it in there. I will give it a quick blow before I put it in there, and then we'll power it up and see whether we get any favourable results. Right, okay, so I'm going to give these connections a bit of these connections here, these connections here a little bit of a touching up as well, because I do believe that these are a bit flaky. Okay, so here we are then. Right, so this has to go in there now. Let's have a go. Putting this in there. Right, so there's actually a wire here. Was it on earth, is it? Right, so let's get this one. There you go. Well, that's seated pretty nicely. Right, so let's turn it round. See if all the pins have actually come off the other side. Which they have. I'm just going to solder one or two pins on there and then put the board back in. So what we'll do is we'll do the first pin and the last one so it doesn't drop out. Okay, first pin and the last one. Okay. Right, so what we'll do now is we'll put the board back. I mean, we could test it like this, but obviously there's no need to have it. Right, so now what we'll do, if you can see, all my fingers are in there. Okay, so what I want to do is now resolder the remaining connections on here. Because now at least we can eliminate that this board was working when it was in the other machine. And if it still does not produce us sound or control pulses, then we've got to find out why. It could be a faulty head, but I don't believe that is the case. I don't believe that is what the problem is. Right, so that's the new board soldered back in. I'm just trying to make sure there's no no bridges. Okay, so I think we're ready for another power up. Right, here we are. Might need to tune it again. Switch off the soldering iron now, don't need that anymore. Oh! Look at this. I took the plug off this one. I wonder why I did that. Okay, so that means I have to put a plug on it. Right, okay, I'm going to show you how to put a plug on. How to wire a plug. I think I've got all the wires and everything here. Right, I've got a donor plug here. Okay. So it might be a good idea I think I'll probably re-tin this. So we'll just I think I probably took the plug off because I needed it for something else maybe. I don't have many plugs. Right. So we'll put the live in the live. Right, I think I've got a grommet here somewhere. I mean, these days everything comes with plugs on there. Don't have to worry. I'm actually eager to find out whether I've actually succeeded in repairing this or not. Or whether there's something wrong deep in the actual circuitry. We'll find out pretty quick once I put this plug on. Just a shame that I had to take the plug off this. finally. Just tighten it all up. Oh, there's another screw which I need to put in there. I wonder where that is. Oh, Jesus. Is that the one? Yeah. Right, there we are. So the plug's on there now, thank God. Now we can power the machine up. Right, we've got our power back, as you can see. Let me connect it to the television. Might need to retune it. Getting mechanical trouble again. That was probably the tape. Right, here's the moment of truth. Have I got sound or not? Well, let me turn it round for you so you can see the screen. Right, I think I do have to tune it up again because it was probably on a different setting. Oh. Oh. Bad news, guys. Still no sound. Ah. And we're getting no control pulses either. As you can see, the picture is going in and out of sync. Right, so that's where we are on this, guys. After replacing the soundboard, there's still no sound on there. So that leads me to believe that there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the main board. So we'll be doing another video on this. I'll put it back together for now. And we'll pick it up at a later stage, and we'll see why we are not getting, why it's doing this. Okay then, thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.